Alright, so in this video what I wanted to do is kind of set up your targeting, why you're going to use different targeting. Now this is very, very much up for debate. You can choose all different kinds of stuff. I know we went through audience networks. Actually, let's go through there again real quick. Or audience insights, sorry, not audience networks. But you can do a lot of different research on here. I recommend just going to Google and typing in stuff and just really going deep into what's kind of going on. Read magazines, look at all that kind of stuff because you never know what's going to show up. Just like in the other one we did, let's do bulldogs this time. Let's do bulldogs. Yeah, you can even do French bulldog, all that kind of stuff. Go into your page likes. And this will give you a nice broad idea. We kind of did this with German Shepherds in the other video. Kind of go through these ones. Maybe search through these. Maybe there's people that follow there. All different kinds of stuff. That could be, top celebrities in a different one. So, if we did internet marketing instead. Oh, whoops. Motivation. It would help if I did spell it right. Motivational speaking. So down here you have different people. Of course, I mean look at that. Tony Robbins isn't even coming up on here. I don't know if he's branding himself as a more of a performance coach, whatever it is. But as you can see, I mean, not even on here. Public figures. There's a couple different ones here. All different kinds of people. Just start looking through them, see what they follow, see what they like. Maybe there's other people that you know that you could talk to. Throw an ad out there that literally just has some questions in it that sends them to a Google form, and then in that Google form it gives the idea of, hey, this is my main couple questions, or who I follow, or what I even want out of whatever you're trying to sell or do, or whatever you're trying to run an ad for. Because if you're running an ad, there's a purpose behind it. So whatever you can do, and that's why I'm saying it's up for debate. You can go through all different kinds of stuff and really narrow down your targeting. So I'm going to jump in here. I'm not going to create a new ad. I'm just going to jump into this one here because it's an ad account that doesn't matter anyway. Yep. All right. Gotcha. All right. So this one here, I mean, you can do anything you want. We did all different kinds of stuff here for this one because we wanted to get engagement and then go ahead and remarket it. That's actually not a bad idea if you're doing other countries. I'll take all this out for right now. But say you just wanted a ton of engagement on your posts or likes or whatever it is, maybe put it towards a third world country, get tons of engagement on there. We know though they're not actually going to buy the product, especially if it's a high ticket item. Well, there's a good chance. I mean, you might get a couple people that click through and buy it, but I mean that's going to be very, very rare, and you got to be really good at selling, or your items have to be really good, your whole funnel system, everything. But if you want to get a bunch of likes, a lot of comments, a lot of different stuff on there, you can actually do that to some of the lower priced countries. Get those people engaging with it, showing that Facebook, hey, my stuff's awesome, and then bring it back into the States or other countries. You'll just want to hide comments that have different languages. Don't delete them because then that's negative. Hiding is kind of a gray area right now. It hasn't really come out, at least that I've seen, and said that hiding is bad. But you can always hide comments on there. You can also say, always have your list as well of different words that people can't say in your comments and automatically don't get approved. I mean, you could probably even put in different words of different languages that people would normally use on that kind of a post, and people that are putting different language posts on there, they wouldn't be seen. There's different tactics like that that you can actually get into on the backside of your page. For targeting reasons, here we're just going to, I mean, I don't really worry about this too much unless you're doing a local client. If you're doing a local client, do a couple miles outside of them. Start even smaller. Do 1, 2, 3 miles out. Say it's a restaurant, a gym, a chiropractor, something like that. But if you're more doing e-commerce, I mean, if you're doing Amazon and you're doing just the United States, of course you're going to want to target the United States. But if you're, say, doing Amazon United States, Mexico, Canada, over in London and Britain and that kind of stuff, the UK, then you can do a lot different targeting and you can target different audiences. So that's something to think about, where you want to actually start with. Some of those other countries, if you're selling there, maybe start your Facebook advertising in those countries first so you can kind of get what works for your actual product in those markets, because they're smaller Amazon markets. So that way you can kind of go through your ads and find out, okay, this worked, this didn't work, for a lower cost than if you were doing the United States, where it might be a higher cost for what you're trying to run. So your age group, of course, these are all going to matter based on who you're actually selling the product to, women, men, whatever. We had women on ours because it was a low-calorie ice cream bar that we sold in Whole Foods and other supermarkets. The reason for that one is, women were the people that came up to us the most when we demoed, and they were the most that threw it in their baskets because it was low sugar, low calorie, all that kind of stuff. So as you can see, that's more of a female market. We also wanted to run a little bit higher on the age demographic because the age demographic for that one, we wanted people that could actually spend $6, $7 on a box of 4 ice cream bars because they were a little bit more expensive than the normal. You just pop in and you get a Walmart brand, or you get even just a Whole Foods brand is cheaper on their side. So you can see why we did that. We had these different ones here. So we of course want to start with competitors. If you can start with targeting your competitors, that's the best thing to do. Then kind of go with interests. And I'm not even meaning just interest on here, because you can, of course, have interests on Facebook. Kind of go through here, have food, drink, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. But if you can actually narrow down your interests sometimes off of Facebook, so you can actually say, maybe people that do ice cream bars. So that's a tough one because it's really, really broad on that one. But narrowing down our customers, maybe the people that do ice cream bars for us, they also are into gyms because ours was a healthier ice cream bar. So we might target, actually we already have it on here, Weight Watchers, weight loss, Skinny Cow is another brand of competitors. So you can see that we have competitors and we also have interests in here. Now you can do behaviors, but behaviors are actually going to be gone off of Facebook almost completely this year. Third-party behaviors, I mean. Anything on Facebook will still probably be there. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to be taking away with all this new privacy policy and all this other stuff that kind of happened with the data breaches and scraping data and all that kind of stuff. For the most part, if the data is on Facebook, if there's a page on there, like, this Weight Watchers will still be there. The Skinny Cow will still be there. Frozen desserts, people that are interested in that, there's pages that show ice cream and other things like that. So when people are interested in those items, it's still going to show on here. So that's why competitors and interests are the best thing. Say your local gym, well, of course you probably can't target the gym down the street because nowadays they can't actually target those low of audiences and those pages. But maybe you have a national chain that does have a page that's near you, or you have, anything else that you can think of in that kind of realm. And it goes way, way deeper. And that's the thing, is it takes a lot of time to do research on the products. It's not a quick, 15-minute thing where you just jump on here and you plug in a couple of things. It's literally like, we could put in here Lane Bryant. So we're targeting people that are a little bit heavier, that and there's nothing wrong with being heavy if you are a female or male watching this right now. I'm heavy as well, so don't take that as judgment. But you could target that and then say people that are also interested in Lane Bryant and Weight Watchers. So they're already a little bit heavier, and we want them to be interested in the possibility of weight loss or lower calorie products or lower sugar or whatever that kind of is. Those are different targetings to stick with to begin with. Those are going to be your best ones. And they're also a little bit broad, so that way Facebook can then, inside of those interests and targeting and competitors, can kind of take that audience and mold it into something even more specific within that demographic. Because like I was saying in the other video, if you go too tight on your actual demographics in here, then you're going to have a problem. Because nowadays you're not going to be able to do household income. You're not going to be able to do a lot of that kind of stuff. So if you're trying to look at affluent people, where do they shop? What do they do? What neighborhoods are they in? Go to Zillow or Redfin or some of those and look up the more expensive neighborhoods. That's going to tell you who to market to in different areas, because those are the people that everybody wants to get after. So if you're taking that extra step and you're not going in here and saying, let's see if it even shows here, finance. So income, net worth, these ones are probably going to go away. Liquid assets, all this stuff is probably going to go away very soon with third-party data being taken off of there. So literally go over to some real estate sites and say, okay, I'm in Colorado right now. Arvada, there's certain parts of Arvada. There's certain parts of Denver that are more affluent. There's of course Cherry Creek that's really affluent in that area and really expensive. So maybe you target more towards those. Look up where the Gucci stores are, where some of the more expensive things are. Like, of course, California, you think of Rodeo Drive. So maybe you target the people that are around Rodeo Drive, in Beverly Hills and that kind of stuff, excluding or narrowing down audiences. So let's say here we want to, you could exclude people if you want to right off the bat. Please keep in mind it says you can exclude people to help refine your intended audience. When you choose to make exclusions, keep in mind that our advertising policies prohibit wrongful discrimination. Age for job applications, all that kind of stuff is exclusion. That is wrongful discrimination. Not going to get into that. Not a lawyer. Not dealing with that one. I think you guys understand the principle behind that one. So let's say we want to go with the low-calorie ice cream again. Let's go with ice cream. Okay, and then also frozen yogurt. Right? So right now we just added 2 audiences on here. There could be some overlap, but there's also different people in each audience, so it's adding to it. What we want to do though is say it's too big of an audience. So let's just say there's 5 million there, there's 144 million there. Okay, we want to narrow it down. So let's say we want to, we just went over excluding people, so if you exclude people, you take them out of your audience. So we want to actually narrow it down. So let's say we narrow it down and we say Skinny Cow. And let's just say Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers, there we go. Weight Watchers, okay. So if let's just say we're doing a low-calorie ice cream here. If they like ice cream and frozen yogurt as kind of an interest, they also, though, must like Skinny Cow and Weight Watchers. So we know we're only going to get people that like Skinny Cow and Weight Watchers, but they must also like these 2 categories as well. Hope this kind of clarifies everything for you guys. Yeah, wanted to add that into here, and I'll let you read this one right here so that way it gives you a better idea of it. I should have probably done this to begin with, but you guys are getting it now. And always remember these little eyes right here, just hover over them if you have any problems, questions, anything like that. So you can see here, current audience and new criteria equals a new audience in the middle. So if that kind of gives you a better idea of who to target, how to target, and why you're targeting those people, I hope it does on that one. Any questions, please let me know. I'm going to try and answer the questions below these videos in this course as well. These are actually pretty cool. So this can be people who liked your page, friends of people who liked your page, and exclude people who liked your page. I would definitely not recommend doing exclude people who liked your page unless you're on a really tight budget and you're trying to just get out to as many people out there as possible, and you don't want Facebook to spend anything on people that actually like your page and are already following you, and maybe you have a lower priced campaign that's already aiming at those people. Other than that, the best one to choose is actually friends of people who like your page, if you have a big enough audience, that is, because it's actually going to show up. Have you ever seen on your ads where it has on the top of there, it says, Sally, your friend, or your friend Sally likes blah, 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 whatever it is. Say it's, I'm going to go back to Tony Robbins or Gary Vee or one of those guys. Say it's, Sally likes Tony Robbins, and then Tony Robbins is doing an event and she likes the page, and then maybe you're like, well, if Sally likes it, maybe I might like it too. I trust Sally's opinion. She has good taste. Of course, these other ones are pretty self-explanatory. Apps, I have a feeling a lot of people don't have apps. If you do, let me know. Events, people who respond to your event, exclude people who already responded to your event. These can be helpful if you're running an ad for an event. Other than that, though, if you're running an event and you're actually doing an event on another page, say your website or something like that, you can actually track on those pages. Say you embed your Eventbrite, or I think you can embed Eventbrite. I don't know. I've never tried to embed Eventbrite, but say you embed that on one of your pages, and then you also have a thank you page once they go through there, and it clicks through, and it's custom coded that way. You can have your thank you page code on there, and then also your part of your pixel on the event page that you embedded whatever event site you want to embed on there. I can't think of the other one that I've used before to actually embed. But hopefully you guys can literally just go into Google and search event sites and you can see it. But unless you're doing that, it's good to do this for Facebook, because on Facebook, of course, you are not having your pixel on Facebook itself, so you need Facebook to then say, hey, look at your own pixel, and the people that have already responded, or not even pixel, but the people that have actually clicked the button and responded, I don't want to market towards those guys. So pretty simple. I'm going to just go ahead and roll through these real quick. Leave this field blank unless you want to narrow down your audience to only people connected with your page. Friends, same thing. I'll let you guys read these. Okay. So pretty self-explanatory on actual targeting. It goes really, really in depth, and this page right here is just to help you do it. The actual research, the actual studying, the actual finding out who is the right customer, that's going to take place on your own time. It's not going to be this page right here where you're just going to browse through some interest and be like, done, and move on. You really, really want to get this down, because it's not 4 years ago where you can just run a Facebook ad, or even 10 years ago when you can just run a Facebook ad and people are going to see it, and it's the first time them seeing that kind of stuff. Especially if you're competing against some of the larger brands that are doing just branding and just engagement, and some of those ones where they can take a much longer time in their whole funnel to actually get people to purchase their products, or even drive people to stores where that's going to be cheaper and they can spend a lot more money because they're bigger brands, and you're just trying to get in there and you're trying to hit the people that are going to like your stuff the most. And even narrow it down. If you're doing German Shepherds, don't target German Shepherds, because everybody that's doing German Shepherds is targeting German Shepherds. Find stuff within that. So everybody talks about the blue ocean and the red ocean, which is actually a great image right here in the middle. But you want the blue ocean, and maybe the red ocean. There's different parts of the red ocean that are still blue, so you want to go into those. So those are going to be your niches, your niches, whatever you want to call it, inside those. So I hope this helps with your targeting. Here is exactly where you're going to plug in your lookalike audience, and I want to touch this briefly. This doesn't have too much to do with your base targeting. This is more of your retargeting once you actually have it. So you're going to have your lookalike audiences, you're going to have your custom audiences in here. And those are people that have engaged with your website, engaged with your page, looked at a certain percentage of your videos, maybe your ads or other posts they've engaged with as well on Facebook. So these are the people that we're going to actually create, and then your lookalike audiences are people, and I think we touched on this in the other video, that you can go from 1% to 10%. 1% is, this looks very, very close to, if not the same profile as a buyer, to 10% of, yeah, you have the same interest as cats as this person has cats, or whatever it is on there. So I hope that helps with lookalike audiences. You take your custom audiences, and then you say, okay, I want these custom audiences. I want people that look like these audiences. So if that makes more sense, your lookalike audience isn't something you're going to build to start. You're going to probably build your custom audiences out first, especially if you're just starting now. You want to set up all your pixels to begin with, so you're tracking data from day one, setting up your custom audiences on day one, so that way it starts going through everything, your website to videos, engagement. And then after you have some of that data, whether it's purchase data or add to cart data or landed on a certain page data or even interacted to your ad data, then you're going to take your lookalike audiences and say, okay, I want people that look like this. And that's what you're going to do for there. And that's where you plug these in. So it'll actually show up with an audience. This is a profile, the Sweet 8, before, it was probably about a year and a half ago or a year ago that, actually where's the dates on these ones? So it's 2016, I know that, yeah. Right around 2016, I mean, I didn't know the whole side of it, so I mean, you guys are getting far ahead for what you're getting in this course. It's taken me, a year and a half to learn a lot of this stuff, and then a lot of the strategy behind it, because the hardest part is not so much learning the actual base itself. I mean, if you guys want to do that, easily go over to Facebook Blueprint. They have their own course specifically for Facebook ads, but it's going to go through every single detail of this, and this. It's not going to be so much the overview of strategy and those principles in there. So I hope to give you guys a lot more data on the strategy and everything else behind it for why you're not just going to take the free Facebook Blueprint course. And if this is not helping you more, let me know what could help you more, and I will include that as well. So I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you in the next one.